100% original pirate style. Kiss 100.
kicking off as I mean to go on. It's Fabio once again, 12 till 2. Back again with an experience called drum and bass. Right, we kicked off the show with Intense on Creative Source. And the awful thing is that I haven't forgot the name of it, but it's Stream of Thoughts, that's what the tune's called. That will be available in your shops as from the end of November. Intense. Got to say hello to the guys, Bo, Dan. Not forgetting, as always. Right, got some treats as per usual. Got the jazz step from 1 till 2. Starting off, of course, for the first half an hour with tracks that are released or are about to be released. Tracks that you should be able to get in your shop, so go out and buy this stuff, because that's what it's all about, sales. Right, here's DJ Pulse. Release date is imminent on this, I think, on Moving Shadow. Another remix of So Fine. And this is a real roller.
In the can funk for longer. Nobody.
Right, as soulful as you can get. The sound of DJ Pulse and a track that was first around the end of 1993. Remixed a couple of times last year. That's the 95-96 lick. And I think that's coming out of Moving Shadow very, very soon.
So far.
Sending that one out to Phil, Lee, Lance and all the guys down there at Basement Records. And not forgetting the mighty Jack Smooth from ways back. And a special request to everyone that attended Speed last night. Of course, me and the old-timer Grooverider was running it back to back and created quite a stir in the place last night. Very, very good night. So, big thanks to everyone that came down there and made it special. As always. It's Fabio, rolling 12 till 2. The Jazz Step 1 till 2. Getting on the release tip at the moment. Sheer class.
London's 100% more music station.
and abstract. The sound of Architects, a track that's been around a while on Plate, now on Basement Records. Catch it. Absolutely starving. I actually feel like some fish and chips at the moment. Might have to run off in an ad break or something like that. Got serious hunger pains, you know how it goes. Right, I don't think I'm going to get on my soapbox about anything tonight. Nothing's really bugged me apart from an article in The Face which called me an old rave hero, which I was, you know, I'm probably younger than the guy who wrote the article, which I thought was quite feisty myself, but I suppose he meant I've been around a long time. Right, we're going to take a pause for a cause in a couple of seconds. Back after that with that Kenny Larkin remix. Right, glad to say this one will be on its way soon on R&S Records, the techno label, the seminal techno label. I've got to say a big hello to Renat at R&S. The Mighty Addicts Reese remix on its way, The Groove. Send this one out to Raf, yes, the old timer from the ghetto, not forgetting your Raf this time. Sending it out to Raf and your Spa, whose name escapes me at the moment, but you know, on the cultural vibe every single time. It's Fabio, 12 till 2. Keep it locked, keep it kissed. 2 in a row from Alex Reese on the remix tip. First the groove, Kenny Larkin. Coming up next, another Kenny Larkin mix, but a different flavour of the flow. Try to keep the balance between the harder edge and the soft edge. You know it.
London's 100% more music station.
Original pirate style. Kiss 100.
Trust me. Don't hesitate. Trust me. Don't hesitate.
100% music.
Paying homage to the mighty Alex Reese, who's just getting better and better and better. Remember Phil the Sunshine and Jazz Master that I've been licking down for at least 10 months. It's out there now in the streets. Check that out on Blunted, a subsidiary of Island Records. and that is going to be the Christmas killer. Feel the Sunshine and Jazzmaster out there on the streets. This is the second remix of The Flow, not available in the shops yet. You can get the first one on R&S. And of course before that, the Mighty Groove and Alex Reed's remix of that. Gotta get my tongue into place. As they say. Right, one more from the release section as Jason's smiling from across the way. Easy, Jason. Gotta say a big hello to Jason and Louise. Yes, 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 yes. Right, as it was bound to happen, winter is now here. Get ready for snow and Arctic conditions over the weekend. I really do think the ozone layer has got something to do with this global warming and all that. Didn't really want to get green on everybody, but, you know, I think that's the case. Here's something from Subject 13. Should be out in your shops very soon. A little thing entitled Spirit Breakdown. I think this one is in your shops as we speak. Got to say hello to Roy and Dave. Some new material coming up from them in the next session of my shows in a couple of weeks' time. Remember, Grooverider is here next week. Don't forget that. Some of my favourite tracks around at the moment. Spirit Breakdown. Catch you after this. Right there, end of the release session tonight. Ending off with one of my tunes of the year, maybe. A tune called Spirit Breakdown from the mighty Subject 13. Big yow to Roy and Dave, and not forgetting Lennox from The Hill. Yeah. Also not forgetting another ghetto youth, the man called Jumping Jack Frost. A big peace out there, Frosty. Big hello also going out to Vivian and the rest of the Stratham Hill Massive. Right, we're going to take a pause for a cause. Back after this with the orchestral flavour. See ya. Right, sending this one out to the LTJ Bookham, and if you do want to catch Mr. Bookham, catch him down at Speed next Thursday for a 3-hour set down there. It's Bookham all night at Speed this Thursday, so check it. A big hello going out to Paul, Stefano, Conrad and all the good-looking crew. I've just been drinking some Tango and I've got some serious wind in my stomach at the moment. Oh dear. Send this one out also to Paul Guntrip from Too Damn Funky from ways back on Phase 1. Saw him last night. He had a good time. Nice one, Paul. Playing you the flavours, the different edges, the different textures, the different emotions. We're getting serious.
Music. 100% music.
100% back to back in the mix. Kiss, kiss.
Giving you the whole spectrum. That one's on the floaty tip. That one's going out to DJ Fantasy, long time no see Fantasy, and also Jason X from Top Buzz. Not forgetting Mikey B and Patrick and the rest of the guys. Top Buzz back in the day were a force to be reckoned with. Sadly no more, but apparently all doing well in their careers, so good on ya. Remember, we got the jazz step from 1 o'clock and I've got some absolute killers for you, so stick around. Between 1 and 2 we're gonna get very, very jazzy and sexy. And gonna remind you about next week. Elevation presents the birthday bash at the Club UN. If you've not been there before, quite a new venue down there in Tottenham, and a nice venue it is too. DJs on the night will be Grooverider, myself, Hype, SS, Gachet, Rap, Slipmat, Demolition Crew, Dougal and Vibes. MCs include Stevie Hyper and MC. That's next week, the 25th of November, from 10 PM till 7 AM, and that's Elevation in association with Rough Cuts. £15, the tickets are in advance and apparently they are going very, very fast, so get on the case as soon as possible. That's next week, Elevation, we're all down there, so come down and join us.
%, back to back in the mix. Kiss.
Here's something totally different. A track that takes a few listens. A little thing entitled Flights. This is for the drum and bass, hands in the air crew. Different business. Got to say hello to Aqua Sky and all the guys from Bournemouth. Not forgetting DJ Dance, Shafi. I'm coming down there soon. The second Club Extreme coming to tear down the place, so get ready. Got to also send this one out to Des from Milwaukee's, and I'll be down Milwaukee's tonight. One of the longest running rave nights in England, anywhere to be honest. That's down there in Bedford. Don't know if you're listening, Des, but peace.
Original pirate style. Kiss 100.
100% stamina.
So I've got a couple of youngsters in the studio that don't know what winkle pickers are. I think they thought there was a new make of condom or something. They're shoes, pointed shoes that we old soul boys used to wear back in the day. Well, I didn't used to wear them, but a few people did. Anyway, back to the music. Here's a remix of UB40. But this is the Blame Jazz Drum and Bass remix. Check this.
100% stamina. Nobody can funk for longer. Nobody.
Smooth as silk. The sound of Blame. Two highly talented guys from Luton, and that's going to be coming out as an exclusive UB40 remix. Got to say a big hello to Terry down there in Luton and the rest of the Luton Massive. Right, time now, 10 minutes past 1, another 50 minutes. And lots of tracks to get through. Yeah.
London's 100% more music station.
Sending that one out to Digo and the rest of the guys down there at Reinforced Records. Also Katie from the Groove Connection stables. Right, we're going to take the last pause for a cause. A big hooray. And back after that, I'll probably get sacked for that. Back after that, some real jazz funk business.
Kiss 100, we've told our DJs to cut the crap. So from now on, it's less talk, more music.
Sound of the Easy Rollers, something saxy. Little track entitled Blow. And make of that what you will. Yeah, time to get smutty as usual. Nice old British humour. Got to say a big hello to the station boss, Gordon Mack, who props up the bar down at Speed most Thursdays. Easy, Gordon. Also sending it out to Kiss FM's Wendy Douglas. Another big hello going out to Jason and Louise in the place. Easy. Well, apparently I said something very sexy called blow. Well, I was going to say something so rude then, but I'll just let the music play. Sending that one out to J Magic and Emily. Getting it back together again, easy. Do remember each and every Thursday night, Speed down there at the Milk Bar. And remember, LTJ book 'em for 3 hours this coming Thursday. And we had the mighty Grooverider down there last night. Played an excellent set the place alight every time. Also, watch out for a Speed all-nighter coming up just before Christmas. Should be special. Also, Speed one off at another venue, and we've got a venue in mind this time, and it is one of the best venues in the country, so listen out for that. Also, do remember the Mighty Blue Note representing each and every Sunday down there in Hoxton Square. Sundays between 7 and 12:30. Superb session. Flying the flag. Peace.
Start.
Original pirate style. Kiss 100.
That is some Mike Tyson business, for real. That is mean. Sending that one out to the jazz boy Starsky. You know it, holding that one tight to the chest. Some futuristic business. Fabio on the jazz step. I look at the watch, there's another 15 minutes to go. Gonna try and squeeze in a few more tunes before the end. Sending a big hello to Charlie and Vicky, and not forgetting Emma C. Yeah. And that's sending that one out to the gorgeous Sarah. Easy. We're on the jazz roll. Remember, next week representing the Grooverider. And don't forget the 9 till 11 jungle slots on a Wednesday night. DJ Hype Grace in the decks.
100% music.
Kiss 100% stamina. 100% more music station.
Of the futuristic jazz lick. Thank you very much, Jason. Right, if you want correspondence with any of your DJs on Kiss FM, get my mouth into order. It's like kissing, sometimes you can do it, sometimes you can't. It's like everything, really. But if you want to write to us, always pleased to read the letters. 80 Holloway Road, N78BR, and address that to Kiss House. And remember, it's house. So it's 80 Holloway Road, N78BR. Write to us. Right, about another 10 minutes left. I want to end off with a classic, so time to move swiftly. Right, the time is nearing 2 o'clock. That's the sound of Danny C and a track entitled Red Moon. Right, before I go, remember next week, Elevation, the birthday bash. Myself, Grooverider, Hype, SS, Gachet, Rap, Demolition Crew, Slipmat and Dougal and Vibes. And that's at Club UN 415 Tottenham High Road N17. And that's £15 in advance. And that's going from 10 o'clock till 7 in the morning. Gotta say a big thank you to Louise and Jason for keeping me company. Say bye-bye. Bye. Easy. And remember, next week it's the Grooverider between 12 and 2. And check that out. Right, I'm going to end up with a track that is really one of the best tracks I think ever made, really, and that's a high praise, but it just does it every single time. So until 2 weeks' time, catch me again 12 till 2 on Kiss. Later. This tune is seriously damaged. It's been stepped upon. Drinks have been thrown all over it. It's the original cut.
Sees the return of Innocence, the newly named Millennium, formerly known as the Laserdrome, now with 2 licensed bars and fully refurbished. All drinks on launch night will be £1. Launch night DJs will be Nicky Black Market, Brocky, Crow, Ron, Ray Keith, Hype, Andy C, Grooverider and Randall, MCs GQ Flux and Stevie Hyper D. Doors open at 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. £10 on the door. Innocence, each and every Saturday.
Sorry, madam, the fight you booked on...